Me.
Well, I feel really great. I've taken in more money from this district than Greg Walden has. So I had the pleasure the other day of having breakfast with the Chamber of Commerce over at the barbecue, which is the best place to have breakfast in the Dalles. You're here tomorrow morning? And I had an interesting conversation with one of the attendees, regular attendees. He wanted to talk about campaign financing. He wanted to talk about what it takes to raise money. And what he brought out was the problem's not the money at the top, it's the problem that people like me have to spend all my time asking for money. I'm on the phone asking strangers for money. Well, I can tell you, with the exception of my buddy Tim here who wrote himself a check, I've spent way less time asking for money than anybody else. That is a mind, it steals your mind, it numbs your soul. You get into office and you're immediately supposed to start raising money again. It's from the bottom end. We have to ask for money.
Okay, that's it.
I've got envelopes out there in the self-addressed.
This has been one of those weird questions for me because when somebody donates money to me, they're donating because they believe that I can actually do something to help in Congress to make things better, not because I can help them. And maybe I'm idealistic, but I've been idealistic all my life. When I was asked to join a hospital board, when the conflicts between the doctors and the administration and the board were at their worst, somebody said to me, "Oh, you're going over to the dark side." And I'm not sure what you mean by that. And I had a reputation throughout that time for being willing to stand up and say things that were good for the community, that were bad for the doctors. And I stayed on that board, and I was asked to stay there by the board members, by the administration, and by the physicians. I don't think that anybody buys your influence unless you allow that to happen. And I hate the system of having to call and raise money. It's horrible. It's the worst part of campaigning. And I want that system to change. But in the meantime, nobody that's donating to me has bought any influence from me.
Money donations drives policy. Money drives policy. It's true. It's really true. And the late, great Audre Lorde, the poet, once said, "The master's tools will not dismantle the master's house." So look at where people are getting their money from, and look at what is the agenda and the interest behind that, because that is true across the board. Now, yes, we need to get into office to change that. The city when I served on a council, we had a campaign finance reform at the local level. There's a lot of different ideas. Jim talks about a lot of ideas, but there's a lot of different ideas we can do at the national level. Those are important. I actually, of the group, I'm the last reporting cycle came through the highest, brought in the most contributions, but also probably have amongst the lowest amount. They're coming from folks like someone in LeGrand, a food service worker, who sent me $25 and said, "I've never given to a campaign before." Those are the kind of contributions I'm getting from across the district. So people will invest, but look at where the investments are coming from, where that money's coming from.
Thank you. I agree with Roger. This is an impressive group of candidates, and it's given me a huge amount of hope. Up, giving each candidate 30 seconds each to please tell us, why should we vote for you?
I'm going to talk again about hope. People will sacrifice for a story. I guarantee you. I haven't talked about it, I'm going to talk about it now because I've got to pull all the stops out. I got a scholarship, 3-year scholarship to Harvard. I can do the numbers, I can do the policy, I'm a wonk. But it's got to have heart. And so when we go out and we share this news that something is happening exciting in Congressional District 2, it's going to reinvigorate a community that's been pushed to the side too often. Again, we live here, I hope you feel like you live here because this is a good place. I believe it's a good place. I couldn't wait to get back. Thanks.
I can make this really quick.
please vote for me. I am a progressive. Rural America already has a Republican Party. They appear to like it. We as Democrats will not win by being Republicans light. We will not. We have not, and we won't in the future. I do want to go on to say, though, that we're not making this easy on you. There are a bunch of good people here, a whole bunch of good people. Any one of us is going to be far better than the current occupant.
Because I want systemic change, and that's campaign finance reform. I want public financing of elections. I want citizens to be the ones contributing to somebody's candidate, not the Koch brothers, not some corporation. Because then we're going to get people that are actually going to be representing the people they're supposed to be representing, not the big dollar contributors. The other thing is, when I get to Washington, D.C., I'm not going to be some glorified telemarketer. I'm going to answer my own phone 5 hours a week. Thanks.
My favorite line is, you know how Democrats are passive, soft? I'm not one of them. Haven't been my entire life. I don't plan on starting now. I plan on holding Greg Walden accountable for the lies, not disingenuous, or whatever the word is, for the lies that he has been telling this district. I am willing, I am capable to go talk to the other side, and I remind you, we're only 30%. If we don't figure out how to get 100,000 of these people convinced we can do this, we can't win.
So I haven't told you about my endorsements yet. Well, my Bricklayers Union endorsed me, of course. They had to. But the endorsement I'm most proud of, and the one that speaks to my 32nd pitch, I was endorsed by the Oregon Old Time Fiddlers Association. And what that means is I am one of us. 80% of the people in this district have less than $1,000 in the bank. I represent that constituency. I know what it's like. Hey, vote for me.
2 months ago, we were all interviewed by the Bend Bulletin editorial committee, and I was told when I went into that, they won't endorse you, just, you're a win, it's a win if you come out not looking crazy or stupid. This morning I woke up to a pretty incredibly positive endorsement from the Bend Bulletin. I'm still in shock. I was also endorsed by Lesla Coyne and by Lee Weinstein here in the Dalles because they believe that I have the right vision, that I have the right passion for this, and I'm doing it for the right reasons. Thank you.
You should vote for me because I can beat Greg Walden. I'm a rural Democrat. In my entire public service career, I have a reputation for being socially progressive, fiscally responsible, and an absolute commitment to ethics. Look at Measure 101 and how it won in our district, the 20 counties in our district. It's not just because of the blue areas. It was because it won enough support in the rural and quote-unquote red areas. I've got family throughout the district, I've got name recognition, and I can beat him.
Okay, a couple of bits of housekeeping here and a final comment. Don't forget the straw vote. If you have not yet done so, sign up, make sure you get, recognized and all. And if you want to vote in the primary and you are not currently registered, you have until Tuesday, April 24th to register. Primary's coming up, the ballots will drop next week. I want to say that in all of the 40 years I've been doing this, and I started many, many years ago, I have never seen a finer crop of candidates, all of whom are worthy of your attention.
Thanks to our moderators, our timekeepers as well.